Welcome to Sneaky Athletic, your seventh favorite podcast. I'm Chandler Farmer.
I'm Alec Hensley.
Yes, you are. So this week, there's some stuff going on.
Like what?
The Lance Armstrong documentaries.
Yes.
We're going to touch on
We're
those.
coming back from 2 weeks, so we're going to hit the notes of the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, we are always coming back. We have our beef, lifestyle, what the feed, Google this, the regular segments. And then we're basically just going to recap the Lance Armstrong doc and cover everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get to that, got to give a shout out to our boys at the Fertilizer Service Company. You know what they do. They supply you with everything fertilizer, all your fertilizer needs in Northwest Missouri, up there in God's country off Highway 59 in Fairfax, Mo. If you need them, hit them up at 660-686-2402. And you guys already know, they're keeping God's country as good as she grows. All right, let's get started.
My heart, my soul, I gave it all, but loving you was never easy.
Well, Alec, you have a good weekend?
No.
Why is that?
America.
It's true. It's not great, but we're going to try to make the best of it.
Yeah, you didn't need to open with that one. It's just, it's depressing for everybody.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to say anything that's going to make anything better at all. So, my weekend wasn't great either, for many reasons.
Oh, so it's all about you now.
If you wanted to know.
Oh, you're taking the spotlight. Typical behavior of the oppressorship.
Okay, enough of that. No, I mean, I had some. So there was some. You had to have some highlights. Last night was really nice.
It was I guess Sunday's still the weekend.
Yeah,
Sure.
Sunday's definitely still the weekend.
Sure.
The Lord's Day,
What Lord?
whichever one you want to choose. We don't need to get into the deep stuff. That's definitely not what we're here to do.
How was your weekend?
I told you it was. Definitely could have been better, but
Yeah.
it had some highlights. We played a lot of disc golf. I played some regular golf. Went to the farmer's market.
We're disc golfing fools now.
I'm in too deep. Can't be stopped.
We have an issue. Yeah.
Can't be stopped.
We've played over a day of disc golf in the last month.
Yeah. Well over 24 hours. What's your beef? Let's just get into it.
Oh, the grouchy old person at work is my beef.
Oh,
I feel like most workplaces have this,
yeah.
where there's one person who's been there, guy or girl, they're just older than most of the average staff, and they are just a thorn in everybody's side.
100%. I literally had an encounter with our grouchy old person at work last week, and it ruined my whole fucking day.
Oh, yeah. And they're just so rude for no reason. And the thing that gets me is like, I don't like this job. I don't like you. And you're going to sit here and do this. Like, you are 4 times my elder. And you think that, like,
Yeah.
you
don't know how to work a cell phone and you're going to be mean to me.
Yeah. You think you have some sort of entitlement for being
Yeah.
72 and working here?
Yeah. And the one with my specific encounter, he's retiring very soon. And he's been basically like forced out of his job.
Oh, it's
he's
just
such
a
a
fuck
dickhead.
you tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just trying to tell me how to do my job, and I'm just like, fuck you. I don't get paid enough for you to tell me what to do.
Fair enough.
Like, so I 100% agree with that beef. I also have beef with that person.
What's your other beef?
My other beef is my own culinary skills,
Okay.
because
Why?
I almost sliced my thumb off this weekend.
Which thumb?
My left thumb, so the weaker.
Just don't put it up. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I have it unwrapped right now.
It's disgusting. I am not a fan of anything of the body.
Both you and Mackenzie were there, and neither one of you were like quick to help, which I didn't. I didn't make a very, very big deal out of it, because it really wasn't a big deal. But I was just like, fuck. And then I was just like bleeding over the sink, and both of you were like, you good? From like 12 feet away. Like, nobody like wanted to get close. I was like, yeah, go get me the first aid kit that's under the sink.
I did. I immediately got that.
You did, yes. But then you just sat it down and walked off. Or no, you got me some gauze, I think. And then you're
yeah.
And then you're like, well, I'll leave you to your own devices. Like,
well, at that point, your girlfriend had swooped in, so I had relieved myself.
She was quite a bit further away when it first started, so she had made it over there. She didn't. I mean, it wasn't like I explicitly was like, "Oh yeah, I cut my thumb. It's pretty bad. Like, I'm bleeding a lot." I was just cussed and was like standing over the sink. Was like, "Give me the first aid kit." Like that's all that happened. But yeah, I need to improve. I need to better myself.
I bet it hurt a lot, but honestly, I feel like I would have expected more gore if you yelled more. So it was an appropriate thing. I feel like sometimes when people injure themselves, that's an issue. You
don't want to be the boy who cried wolf.
Right, exactly. Yeah. The exclamation of it is so much worse sometimes than the actual pain, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, they like are just stonewalling, and it's like, that has to hurt.
Yeah, the adrenaline takes over in different ways.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be like, we can solve this problem at home. I don't want to go to urgent care or the emergency room right now because it's just like they're not going to be. Maybe they might be happy to see me be like, oh, finally a fucking knife injury. Like we haven't had one of these in a while. Like I'd love to throw some stitches in that right now. Yeah, come over here. Like I didn't know if
you're just gonna skip right to the front of the line.
Exactly. I didn't know if it was gonna be that. Which I actually do know somebody who had a minor medical injury but did have to go to like an urgent care recently, and they literally let him skip like 7 people because everybody else was waiting for the same thing. They're like, just get up here. You're going to be in and out. They're like, come on. But I also didn't want to walk in and just somebody be just pissed off. They're like, really? You need this glued? Like we have to do this for you? So yeah, it's fine. I'll get over it. I am hurt, not injured.
All right. Inspiring words.
Thank you. You got any lifestyle tips?
I do have more inspiring words. Take mental health days.
I think that's important.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. However you want to spend it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think you should spend it what benefits your mental health the most, and that's very different for a lot of people.
Yeah.
My lifestyle tip is have lower expectations. So this is just specifically directed at me taking my dog to the groomer on Saturday. And part of the reason why my weekend wasn't the best weekend of all time, but I definitely am in no position to complain. But I took Gordo, my dog, to the groomer, and I was like, yeah, give him a summer cut. He's pretty matted up. Like, I need him pretty low. And, like, typically when I go there, I'm like, yeah, leave a couple inches. Like, I want him to still look the same. And when I showed back up, they sat me down and were like, we need to talk about what you're about to go through. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, you're not going to recognize your dog. Like, he's a different dog now.
He is a different being.
It's insane. He lost probably 3.5 to 4 inches of hair.
Looks like a different breed, honestly.
Yeah, he just looks like a straight up poodle now.
I wish that you weren't just like showing off your thumb towards me, because like I want to look at you, but it's like
I'll hide it.
Not like immediately catch that.
I'll hide it. But yeah, my expectations were low, but then once he came out, like I still had to catch myself from not being like, oh, that's what it is. I was like,
is this the right dog?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, he's short. I'm like, thanks guys, tip you $5. Here you go. Get out the door. Like,
sooner or later, he'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, he grows. He's like a chia pet, literally. He's gonna grow a hair back. It'll be fine.
Indeed.
Give me something you saw that was crazy on the internet. You have a lot of choices.
So actually, I'm gonna do something just local because stay off the internet. So, mental health. Yeah. My eyebrows. My girlfriend.
Oh my fucking God!
Gave me
a high point of my weekend.
She gave me a pretty good haircut. Honestly, I was really impressed. It was solid
for sure. And we discussed this like in depth. Of it's like you've had 10 worse haircuts that I've seen
at least
than this one.
Yeah. And so she was like on a roll. So we dyed my beard and it looked pretty good. Yeah,
she got cocky, which I mean, justifiably so. Like she did a good job.
It looked really great until then. And
like honestly, it was a heat check. It was a heat check. Everybody has one.
It looks good now. And it's one of those things with haircuts though too, that it's like, it's going to take a couple days.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was shockingly expressive by my eyebrows that were now, my face was all cleared up. Like I had gotten like a spa treatment. Honestly,
Yeah,
it was a nice day.
Yeah, you got lined up. So, like, nobody's looking at your, like, raggedy edges of your hair anymore.
And they just popped.
Yeah. And
They popped, baby.
I didn't realize how much eyebrow movement you had in just a regular conversation.
Well, sometimes I was just exaggerating it at this point, you know?
You had to play into the bit because, like, what else are you going to do?
I would just
They're there.
shake him while people were talking to me to distract him.
Yeah. You're just constantly standing, like, at a 90-degree angle. You're standing perpendicular to every single person you're talking to. Because, like, when you were sitting to the right of me or, like, by my side on the couch, like, I couldn't tell. Yeah. And then you would get up to, like, go get a drink and come back, like, God damn. There are those fucking eyebrows again. Holy fuck.
Looks great now, though, so all's well.
Yeah. Definitely nothing to complain about with the barbershop treatment you got. It was...
Honestly, better than most barbershops that I've been to.
It was free, so yeah.
It's also true.
Yeah. Nothing, 0% complaint about there.
What about you? What'd you say?
So,
besides me,
yeah, you were up there with my what the feeds for sure. But I'm just scrolling through my Twitter feed and I see this guy post. I think I won this trade, and I just click on his profile real quick. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And he's a San Diego State University football player, and I click and he's on a sneaker website. I don't know if it's like StockX or what, but you know, there's all those like sneaker trading websites. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Grailed, like something like that.
I know that they exist. Yeah. I don't know.
So anyways, he was selling a pair of shoes and some guy messaged him and said, hey, these still available? And he's like, yeah. He's like, will you trade a full-bred German Shepherd female?
Oh, yeah.
And the next picture is just the guy holding a sneaker and the football player holding a German Shepherd. It's a puppy. Yeah. Like, it wasn't even like he was trading like, oh, I got this adult dog. He's like a brand new puppy. And he was like, I think I won this deal. Like, yeah, you fucking destroyed him.
For sure.
It's a pair of shoes.
So much more.
I'm not a sneakerhead, so I guess I don't understand that.
Potentially it could be so much less expensive than the dog, you know?
Yes.
Probably, and most likely.
I'm thinking like, I don't know. It depends. Like, are you going to put these sneakers on ice? Are they your favorite sneakers of all time? You're going to wear them like once a year, twice a year, and you're going to maintain them and they'll last you a long time. Because like a dog is like, I mean, that's 10, 12 years most likely. Yeah. Like, you know, that's you get a lot of return on investment there. Whereas like sneakers, if you're really wearing them like 2, 3 years, I don't know. The dog guy destroyed him. Yeah. Destroyed him. It was such a lopsided battle. Google this is. You got any?
So this is my thing about the weekend. So this is my one, like, this is our platform. So this is my one time. What?
The singer?
No. This weekend. This last weekend. In time that passed with the riots. And so this is our one platform. So I'm going to use this one spot to say, look up donation centers and, you know, send out to, you know, bail funds or do whatever you can to help those people out and stand by, you know, those people who are needing you.
Good point, Alec.
That's all I got.
Fair enough.
Not my space to speak.
Even though it is, kind of, because your
podcast. I have to say my thing or I'll feel bad. I guilted you into it already.
You did. I've done a few things, definitely not enough, but a couple of things. So my Google list also involves some of the rioting and things that have gone on, but it involves a familiar face to somebody having their shirt off in the street and you know, riding on top of vehicles. It's J.R. Smith.
Wow.
You remember his shirtless campaign after the Cavs won the title there in 2016?
Remember whenever he threw hot soup on somebody?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's J.R. Smith. Well, you're about to learn.
He's wild.
He's wilding out. So he actually went on the Pat McAfee show and talked about this, but he said he was literally in his house playing Call of Duty, headphones in, so he couldn't hear anything that was going on. And Jordan Clarkson lives like a couple blocks down, and he texted me. He's like, "Bro, like you gotta like get out here. Like you see what's going on." And he said like he was playing Call of Duty, so he's hearing like helicopters and shit. And he takes his headphones off, and he's like, "Oh shit, there's like helicopters outside." So he goes outside, and there's protests going on. They were peaceful protests, so he joined them and like took some pictures and like, you know, stayed covered up, wasn't trying to be like famous or anything, but like he has a nice camera, so he was out like taking pictures, documenting stuff. And he gets back to his house, and this guy runs up and just breaks the window of his car, like just being like a rioter. Like not, it wasn't like JR was like standing by or anything. Just sees him, so he chases the guy down and just beats the shit out of him. And there's a video of it, and my favorite part of the whole video is the person's videotaping, and someone just steps in front and he goes, "Hey, respect his privacy," as he's like kicking the shit out of this guy. He's like, respect his privacy. But JR actually went on and he's explained the whole situation and, you know, put his stance out there. I'm not going to try to paraphrase or anything. You can look it up. It's widely available, but it just jumped out to me as something like I was not expecting to see J.R. Smith absolutely destroying somebody after they broke in his window.
He threw a bowl of chicken tortilla soup on one of the Cavs coaches.
Which, I mean, that makes sense. What, like,
does it?
Yeah. That adds up. That math checks out.
Sure.
It's probably like a delicacy in Cleveland. Chicken tortilla soup.
I think just meat is a delicacy in Cleveland.
Championships are definitely a delicacy. Gotten one in the last 65 years.
Probably a delicacy in Cleveland. You know what's not a delicacy in Cleveland?
What?
Hall of Fames. Amusement parks.
They love amusement parks.
Yeah, they do. They love both of those things.
Yeah.
A ridiculous amount.
Rust.
I guess it kind of evens out.
I think they love
They are in
Rust.
the Rust Belt. They are, yeah.
Yeah, what else do they have? Skyline Chili. It's not Cleveland, but that's Cincinnati. It's Ohio.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. They love Buckeyes.
Yeah.
They probably have enough of them, but they love pretending they're DB Central.
They love pretending they're better than Detroit.
They love pretending that Michigan State's still a rivalry game.
They love hating LeBron James.
They do love hating LeBron James.
Yeah.
They love also backing their ownership, Dan Gilbert.
The worst.
They love putting their heart and soul behind a quarterback that doesn't turn out after a couple years.
Johnny Well, the list goes on and on and on.
They love that.
Even the other side of the state, because they had Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
So, but now they got Joe Burrow.
Just add another one to the list.
No, Joe's different. He's different.
We'll see. I think as long as he's there, he's doomed.
Well, AJ Green's coming back. He's already like, oh, okay.
He's probably looking at greener pastures already.
That's for sure. The grass is always greener
than in Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are, just like compared to Ohio.
Correct.
Comparatively.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if anybody's from Ohio that listens to this.
MGK was born there.
Makes sense.
Kid Cudi to balance the scales.
Yeah. That's yin and yang.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay.
In my trivia.
I mean, Joe Burrow born there. LeBron James born there. Who else?
Matty Mock.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's played high school football there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like a lot of state records in Ohio.
Yeah.
Wow. That was some... You're welcome, Ohio. We just brought you back right there. It was like, put you down, just lifted you right back up.
Yeah, we're here for all of it. We'll take in the good and the bad.
No, I don't... Like Jim Brown's professional career.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They have a lot of Hall of Fames.
There's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Canton, Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I know like football Hall of
Fame. They have a ton of other Hall of Fames too.
I just forgot I was thinking about the other ones. Maybe we should go to Ohio.
No.
Some amusement park action.
How many amusement parks could we hit in a day? And how many would it really be worth it? We'd have to estimate the average line time per amusement park.
We're buying fast passes. If we're doing it, we're buying this line skippers. Yeah. I think like once that started becoming a thing, I changed this take. Once you do the fast passes once, you can't go back. Like once I had that experience, if somebody's like, oh, here's the easy passes, you can just skip to the front of the line. I'm like, how the fuck am I ever supposed to go to an amusement park ever again without these?
I think it depends on my group.
It should depend on that and like the time of day too. Sometimes you don't need those.
Oh God, yeah, the time of day. Wow.
Like if you just go to like Worlds of Fun on like a Tuesday afternoon, like and you're just your friends, like you're good to go. You're never gonna wait in line.
Yeah.
You like you can just do whatever you want. But if you're trying to go on like a Friday, or like during the haunted house time, you gotta have the fast passes. You'll just be standing around.
Literally being haunted.
Yeah, pay like $60 just to stand in line.
Yeah, it's like you're in Ohio.
Damn. Full circle.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the Lance Armstrong documentary, part 1 and 2.
Oh,
Talk about roller coaster.
So Jordan was more entertaining. This is better. This is a better documentary.
I think
Tells the story better.
I was definitely like, I don't know, it's so hard, but I was extremely interested in it. Like, I'm not gonna try to
Gripping.
I'm right in there. They within the first 5 seconds they pull you in.
Yeah. And I mean, they keep it. Like, I'm telling you, the second episode starts and he's just like, yeah, I'm a fucking dickhead still. What's up?
Yeah.
And then they show you some of like the most beautiful, compassionate things he's done as well.
Yeah. And it gives you the full like depth of his life, of like everything he's done, from literally like just being this humble little Texas kid to like kicking people's asses when he was like 15. Like his life from the age of 12,
his dad didn't want him.
12 to 15, his life changed so much, and that was like 5% of his life. Like, it was insane. That was like barely for any normal person.
Moved out at 17, yeah.
For any normal person at 12 to be able to not even swim, to at 15 he was beating people in triathlons, like grown adults, forging his birth certificate and beating adults in these races.
Who were professional triathlon runners.
Like, that was from like 12 to 15 he did that. Like, no big deal.
Yeah. And then decide to cycle.
And then like, yeah, cycling, beating cancer, becoming literally in his words, the fittest, like one of the fittest people on this whole earth.
But he probably was, to be fair.
Like, he was saying it and it was like, can't really argue it.
There's a couple of athletes in communist countries who are mad, but besides that.
Yeah. There's just so much. And they really pull from a lot of people. They have like all of his teammates on. They have the writers who was following him. They have his like agent and business manager, and they have his arch rival.
And they're all so open about it.
Yeah, because it's all been exposed.
Right.
Like, there's nothing that they can hide anymore, and it's been enough time, and they've all been exposed, and they're like literally sworn in and gave these like testaments of like, this is what happened. So now they're like, fuck it, let's just talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, they had not only these 2-part documentaries, but then a follow-up special. And they're like, yeah, we were doping at this time. And like, you know,
Yeah.
I got caught because of XYZ or whatever. And like, this is all I took.
This person like showed me like what to do, or like got me into it. It's crazy.
I mean, they really were. I mean, I think we both talked about like professional athletes doping, but they're like, yeah, you had to do it. You know?
Every single person was doing it. You brought up, you're like, so who, after they catch you for doping after winning the Tour de France, who gets it? Because the second place person was doping, and the third place person was doping, and the fourth place person, like, everybody was doing it. So what do you do?
Some Joe Smo just gets some fucking Tour de France title on his doorstep someday.
Exactly. Like the slowest time of all ever wins.
139th.
Yeah. And then they go in, and we can talk about the Tour de France. What the fuck? Why are people doing that?
It's 21 days.
It's 21 days.
It's
2,500 miles.
Yeah.
In total. And you bike, I think the times were the winning times, like, so they're, what do they call? Like, each day is called whatever. I can't think of it now, but the winning time was between like an hour and 20 and like an hour and 45 of biking. Like, so you're doing that straight, and it's miles upon miles.
Like a marathon every day for
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they talked about it. He did cheat, but everybody was cheating. But just his ability to avoid crashing, avoid becoming sick or ill, making a bad strategic play for 7 years in a row. It was it's like 150 days. Yeah. 147 days of just like pretty much perfect cycling.
I mean, in a sport where everybody is doping, I think he still deserves it.
This was the most...
He's the GOAT.
This was the most he deserves it. So in baseball, when they talk about like, oh, Barry Bonds was using steroids, so it's not fair because not everybody was using steroids. Every single person was using some type of doping with blood transfusions or all that.
They all
so
admitted
like
it.
it was a level playing field.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just let him win now in retrospect? I mean, obviously, and then he got the fucking shit suit out of him.
Oh yeah.
But there was just so much. You learned about him being probably the best liar of all time. Like one of the best
Fire
sports,
fraud, the
one
dude
of the
from
best
Catch
sports-
Me If You Can.
real life liars. One of the best sports liars of all time.
The Wolf of Wall Street guy.
Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are good liars out there. He's got to be on a Mount Rushmore.
R. Kelly.
We don't say that name around here.
Epstein.
Okay. We're
O.J. Simpson.
okay. Mount Rushmore. There you go. There's another. You caught my attention.
Of liars.
there.
Okay. Yeah.
O.J. Simpson.
Brought it back
Lance
around
Armstrong. Like those guys, very different. I don't want to try to pair them up in any aspect besides
A-Rod with steroids.
Barry Bond, like Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
You could go down
Yeah.
the list of all those guys. Jose Canseco, like those guys who were doing steroids and lying about it. Lance's was for so long, and he was so adamant.
True.
And you see these like all these interviews and stuff where he was just like going after people. He was at anyone who slandered his name, he would just attack you. He didn't give a fuck who you were. He called the lady who was like the assistant, just on public television, basically just called her a whore.
Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer is a liar. Yes.
Yeah, he's a good liar.
Yeah.
He's good at lying, not a good liar.
Yeah. So back to the document though, the doc. I think I like Lance Armstrong.
Document. No, 100% this made me like him more. But I'm not sure. It made me like him more because I appreciated the whole scope of it. And I think that, like you said, level playing field. And he truly was a hero and is continually a hero to so many people with cancer. That is such an impact that you can't overlook. But at the same time, like, do I really believe he's completely changed? Like, he,
No.
completely admits to some things. Like, he is still a dickhead deep down. But I think that there's this level of, like, he came from a broken home, became famous so fast. Like,
It
he
was
didn't
him versus the
mature
world,
on the same
too.
pace or
Yeah.
level of other people. And, like, that's just going to catch up. And he has to do so much, not only recovery time, but also just maturing normally forward as he should have.
Yeah. And I should say, I think this doc made me love Lance. I don't know that I ever hated him. Like, it was never personal to me. When all this came out, it was like, okay.
I mean, we talked earlier about those goddamn yellow wristbands being the coolest shits that we've ever seen.
I had to have one.
Yeah.
And like the people with the Livestrong like backpacks and quarter zips and shit, I was like, God damn, those are fly.
Dope. Just killer.
I was like, fuck, those are good. I wanted one, but too expensive. I couldn't
Yeah.
I didn't even use a backpack. Why do I fucking need one? But I wore a Livestrong bracelet for a long time. And I didn't take it off because of
Livestrong tan lines. Classic.
yeah. I didn't take it off because of like any type of that stuff. It was just like I quit wearing bracelets. I grew up. But
you're age capping bracelets?
no, just my own personal experience. I grew up and grew out of bracelets.
Is a watch just not a bracelet with time?
Okay, let me start putting that in. Like, yeah, if I strap wheels to you, you're a fucking car. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about right now?
I mean, it's a bracelet. At the end of the day, a watch is a bracelet. What if my bracelet does something?
This is a tool.
What if it's like one of those bungee cord ones?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever.
What if you're going camping?
Yeah, then you'll have a backpack and you can put some fucking bungee cord in.
It's a little bit of a space saver.
Let's be realistic right now. The 6 feet of parachute cord that you're going to tie around your wrist in a fancy knot that you cannot get untied when you're in a shitty situation. And then once you do get it untied, it's all fucking wrinkled up.
Yeah, how do you put it back?
Yeah, you're like, you use it to like fish and get the fish. And you're like, okay, well, now time to make this bracelet again. So I'm going to sit here for 6 hours and try to remember how to do this. The sun's down. Oh, fuck, I didn't make camp. The bear's coming now because all my food's out. You're dead. Yeah, that bracelet
leads to death.
It directly killed you in that.
So that is why you're
scenario.
anti-bracelet.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy you I hope I win the lottery and I can buy you a nice, just iced out bracelet, and you'll never wear it.
I would rather have a watch.
Exactly why I'm going to buy you a bracelet.
Yeah, I would just pawn it. Like, I would just
No, that's so fucked up.
unless it was like engraved or something, like really meant
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Oh, I'm going to do so much shit to the inside of it now. Yeah.
Then I'll wear it.
I'll
That's
have
a
your...
promise to you.
Okay,
I'll
thanks.
I'll revert. Time is a flat circle. I'll go back to bracelet me.
All right. Fair enough. I'll buy it in Ohio.
Okay. It better say, never mind.
Made in Ohio.
Yeah. Property of Ohio. I did feel like another thing is like, this document wouldn't have been able to reel me in if it was.
Quit calling it that.
I don't know why. I'm stuck now. What else should I call it?
Documentary.
This documentary. If it was
Film?
TV 14, it wouldn't have reeled me in the same way.
Oh, 100%.
I needed it to be this raw.
I mean, I've never seen the F-bomb drop so many times on ESPN, and you know what? It works.
And it was all in the first 5 minutes. Like that first section of the interview when he just drops the F-bomb a million times, I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to like this. I don't know what it is about this, but I'm going to enjoy it.
The mood was set early, the tone, absolutely, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, so now I just need more.
I really was hoping that there was going to be another one, and honestly, like they probably could have drawn it out a little bit with,
Well, they could have made this a 3-part. I mean, the first part's like an hour 45, and the second part's an hour 45. I mean, this is like 2-hour things. Like they could have just made them each an hour and drawn them out a little more.
5. Yeah, we could have 5.
Yeah, they could have
an hour. Yeah,
they could have drawn it out a lot more. I don't know. I mean, we could sit here and.
What would you wanted to see more? What would you have wanted to see more of?
I think. I don't know how much of the. Like just the exposing and like if they had any documents showing that would have been very interesting.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Like just seeing if they had, there is a documentary about the UCI.
Yes.
Universal Site. We watched that, I feel like a couple of years ago about all the shit that they were doing that was cheating, that they have like actual inside knowledge. I'm going to try to find that and post it out.
I'll have to refresh my memory. Yeah.
I believe we've watched it though. At least I have.
I would have wanted to see more of Lance in his work with the cancer research and they kind of had this different lane of, yes, you are helping pay for treatments and, find good and or better care, but we want to help people navigate it and, have a network of other people who they can reach out to and say, I've struggled with this too. And I'm here to like give you inspiration. Like he seemed to be very good. They talked about how he was, literally the last person many people saw.
Yeah. Which is mind blowing.
It's a lot.
That's a toll on a person.
Oh, 100%. And so
They also somewhat mentioned, and I don't know, they didn't really go in depth about this, but there was a certain amount of him meeting with these cancer patients that he didn't really want media around. Yeah. And he didn't want it documented. He wanted it to just be him and them. Like it was just their time. And once again, that's like a very real thing. You get to see this, like this part of him that you don't like, that's obviously it's not documented, but you don't even think of him in that way. You don't think of any athlete of that way, and just him showing like that much compassion. And that was like very unintentional. It wasn't anything he talked about in the documentary. It was other people were like, yeah, this is what he did.
I wonder if he's just such a determined individual that he is going to act that way regardless, but will play to the stakes of whatever the game is. So like cancer, very high stakes, somber, serious. He's going to take that intimate moment and play within the rules that is
he wants to win,
right? And he's gonna be the best that he can be, is giving you that compassion or that boost of confidence, that hope, whatever you need. Cycling, he's going to do the best that he can do, whether it's doping or training like this or being an asshole to other people so he can be the best.
Literally kicking people off his team because they're like, hey, can I win? Yes. And he's like, well, I don't want anybody on this team who thinks they can win.
Yes. He wants a lot of self-glory. But, sometimes it's in the cancer world, like he was really doing good things? I don't know. I am very conflicted.
There was the one, the lady that was on there that because of Live Strong, she learned that cancer treatments can affect fertility.
Yes.
She put it very, very well. Of what he did with Live Strong in the whole, like, in the fight against cancer, it doesn't take away, or it doesn't cover up what he did in cycling, and what he did in cycling doesn't take away from what he did with Live Strong and fighting against cancer. You have to view them as two separate things because they very much are so.
Yeah, it's gray, muddy waters. They're not exactly black and white.
Exactly.
You know, you have to either completely compartmentalize them or, lump them, or, equate both of them for what they are. Yeah, very good and very bad.
Exactly. And it makes you think. This documentary, like, legitimately, like, made me think in very different ways about people who I hadn't thought about Lance Armstrong in a while, but I was hooked.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting that he would probably be okay with his son doping if he was a pro athlete.
Yeah.
That just blows me away.
He said it 100 times on here. He's like, I'd do it all again.
I think he made enough money and knew how to use that money to make more money. And then, it was a bit of a setback, but it wasn't a huge issue.
It was tens of millions of dollars.
He had already made it, and he's a little strapped for cash now, but like, look at his home, look at his place. Like, are we really
his
that
fiance,
worried?
I think, is loaded. Like, I think
that would help.
I think there's that. I mean, now it showed at the end he's doing cyclist commentary now, and he has the Top Cyclist podcast. Like, he's, which Lance, if you ever want to come on, hit us up. We'll have our people talk to your people. No, I think he's coming back, and that we see that a lot with these types of things. Is
just wait enough.
Yeah, just wait long enough, and people are either gonna forget or forgive, and I think that's good.
Absolutely. Well, do you have anything else?
I think that's all I got.
I hope that we live strong.
Yes, and
everybody out there does as well.
I might go. Actually, if you buy me that bracelet, I will go on eBay and find a Live Strong bracelet, wear them both on the same wrist.
I kind of wanted to buy another one again. Yeah, just bring them back.
Well, and when I was originally wearing it, it didn't quite fit my wrist right. They were made like one size fits all, so it was like huge. Like I was a little kid.
Yeah,
now it would.
Dangly.
Yeah, now it would like actually look good
and show off those muscles a bit, stud.
That's right.
Pound for pound champion of Rockport High School Hankling.
That's right. Oh man, I had a cough there, but I suppressed it. Thank you, Alec. You're too kind.
As a strong man would, as yourself.
As I've been trained to do.
Of course. Just rock hard.
Just right there. Yeah. Stop it right there. That's where you can stop. 2 words that describe Chandler Farmer. You nailed them. That does it for this week.
All right, Super Bowl champ.
You know it. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. We love you guys. Sneak out.